what was one thing that almost had you wanting to give up, wanting to quit? Was there a moment when that kind of happened, when you felt like that?
Funnily enough, Ed,
Yeah, and what made you want to go self-employed then?
you wouldn't really get recognised for the efforts. So I found it quite restrictive, lost the personality with a lot of the clients. So I thought, right, let's take that jump.
What was your biggest challenge in that first year?
Where's the money going to come from?
What was the enough moment that made you want to then reach out for coaching and support from there?
I think it's the fact of
8k to 18k, 10 grand a month that it's been worth to your business, over the last year. Would you say it's worth 100 grand a year to you?
Yeah. I mean, it's just catapulted from where I was to where I am now and potentially where I'm going.
So welcome to an episode of Scaling Stories. This is actually the second that we have done, but the first that we're doing online. So this is Dean Vaughan. He and I started working together in August of 2024, so roughly 14 months ago. His journey is one that you're going to want to listen to because he's gone from being an RI underneath someone else's brand to now being a fully fledged AR, taking on his first administrator and absolutely transforming and changing his business from someone else's brand into his own brand and everything from there. So, Dean, just to kick things off, give people a little bit of an intro. How did you get into mortgages?
I started back early 2000s, so I used to do a lot of advertising for the local newspaper, and we'd actually go around to the estate agents collecting actual hard copies of photos to advertise in the local press. So I got to know quite a few of the local estate agents, decided that's what I wanted to go into, got a job as a sales negotiator and valuer many years ago. And from there, then I seen what the mortgage advisor was doing at the time and the emotions that the clients were having when they were speaking to him. I thought, I want a bit of that. Done my exams with the corporate estate agency, passed qualifications with them, started learning my trade, so to speak, with the estate agent. And from there, yeah, it's just grown. And been with a couple of large banks as well since that period of time.
Yeah, and what made you want to go self-employed then?
Having worked for large corporates for the last 20 years, decided I want to be rewarded for what I do. So towards the end of, or just before going self-employed, when I was working for the large corporate bank, you wouldn't really get recognised for the efforts. So I thought, right, it's getting a bit restrictive. Very much, right, follow this script. Got to say this, otherwise you get your wrist slapped if you don't do this. So I found it quite restrictive, lost the personality with a lot of the clients and the process. And then you actually stop doing face-to-face, which I'm quite a big fan of locally. Still having that face-to-face, do a lot over Teams, but still having that interaction locally with clients was quite a key part for myself. So I thought, right, let's take that jump, go self-employed and work how I want to and provide the service that I want to. And the harder I work, hopefully the greater the reward.
Yeah, without shadow, that's the beauty of self-employment, isn't it? You get to decide your own victory. So what would you say was your biggest challenge in that kind of first year? So when was the actual date actually you went self-employed?
Went self-employed, so it kind of fell for the financial tax year. So I think it was the month after. So it was about March 23 I went self-employed.
So March 2023. What was your biggest challenge in that first year?
Where's the money going to come from? Building my client base. So at that time, I went from being a mortgage advisor within the corporate world to a self-employed and an AR, so under somebody else's brand. I looked to go down that route rather than jumping straight in under my own brand, first of all, because it's a big wide world. And I think in terms of the lender criteria, knowledge, that there's a huge amount to learn. So being in the environment that I was at that time under the AR was massively important to building that knowledge gap that I didn't have at that time.
Yeah. What would you say was the hardest time during that kind of first year then? Because was it getting out in there and getting clients, or was it working on
so
brand? What was that like?
I've done mortgages for numerous years, so I'd always
Yeah.
had that sort of client base. But it's a matter of, right, I've got to make this a living. So it's trying to source and get those clients to come to me and know that I'm not in the bank anymore. I'm now independent. I've got my own business and a business to run.
Yeah.
So the hardest part was potentially finding the clients and bringing those in on a consistent basis to know that you've got a future within the industry being self-employed.
And how did you get your clients initially in that sort of first 12 to 24 months then, really?
Word of mouth
Yeah.
was the main source within the AR that I was working. We do periodic social media, but it was under a different brand. Referrals, recommendations, reaching out to people that I know within the industry and saying, no, this is what I'm doing now, speaking to the local solicitors. So it was a bit of a hard graft compared to what I'm doing now.
Yeah. What were your hours like then?
Uh,
What did a typical week look like for you?
yes, quite long, I'd
Yeah.
say. But I try to work it round some of the commitments I did have. But what you'd find you doing, you working early, slave it away. Right, I've got to do this. So you do what you need to, i.e. with the children to the school. Then you're back working. In the evening, then you take your boy to sports.
Yeah.
And then after they've done the sports, and you've got to continue working, just trying to I suppose, keep that hamster wheel going.
Yeah, nobody tells you that, do they, when you go self-employed? It's like you think it's going to be all roses and cupcakes and you're going to work less hours, earn more money, and actually it's completely the opposite for a good couple of
Yeah,
years if you're
yeah,
doing it right.
yeah. And the number of plates to spin.
Yeah,
What I didn't what you don't realize until you go and do your self-employed, right? You've got the money that you've got to chase, that you've got income in, money that you've got to chase that you're spending. The various avenues of, right, you need to speak to solicitors, you've got sales chasing, you've got protection, you've got the mortgage element. So there's loads of plates that you've actually got to spin, and it's just managing the time correctly.
yeah. So in that first couple of years, so you pretty much did that for the first, well, I suppose up until we started working together. So you're a solo advisor, you're working underneath someone else's brand. What were you averaging, say, on a monthly written or banked period during that time?
I'd say the early years, well, the first year was quite difficult, so I'd say it was averaging about five,
Yeah,
two to five,
two to
depending on
five.
the month. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
as you moved into year two, where did that kind of go to?
Year two, so then that increased quite significantly.
Yeah.
So I'd say we're looking at 5 to 10.
Okay. So the
Yeah,
first year was kind of 2 to 5. Second year was kind of 5 to 10.
yeah.
What's one decision in those first early couple of years? You know, if you could undo it,
Yeah.
what would that have been, do you think?
Um, Seek out a coach sooner. So throughout my career, I've always had sort of a mentor or a coach to help me develop. So within the firm that I was with, there were a couple of, I suppose, I looked at them as mentors at that time. But I looked, potentially would have reached out to coach mentors sooner that are more, what's the word? I suppose knowledgeable, experience in terms of getting that growth a little bit quicker.
The business side of things rather than actually
Yeah,
being the advisor side
yeah.
of things. Would that
So
be right?
they had a wealth of knowledge in terms of, right, we can place this case here, we can place that case here, a bit of
Yeah.
the protection. But I think it's the business side. All right, you actually need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. Right. Okay. That'll allow you to have more time doing with family, more income. So yes, that scalability with the
Yeah.
business side.
Yeah. What in those first couple of years, because we've all had this mindset, what was one thing that almost had you wanting to give up, wanting to quit? Was there a moment when that kind of happened, when you felt like that?
Um, yeah, you get. I think anybody who says they don't have them is telling a rather large lie. Yeah, you get quite a few circumstances of that because your family life sort of suffers a little bit because you want to grow the business. So you're thinking,
Yeah.
right, okay, you have a little pressure, right? I should be doing this with the family. but then some months in you're not getting the income. You think, right, you've got to work harder to get the income. So the income fluctuates. It's managing the lifestyle and managing, I suppose, the knowledge that you'll have a steady income to provide for the family.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's quite a few occasions where you think, oh shit, have I done the right decision?
Yeah, and you just got to back yourself, haven't you? That's the key thing, and you just
100%.
got to keep moving in the right direction. So,
Yeah.
2.5 years ago is when you kind of roughly, well, March 2023. So,
Yeah.
going forward to August 2024,
Yeah.
what was kind of that point that, you're 18 months in, I suppose, really, aren't you? What made you then decide to, what was the enough moment that made you want to then reach out for coaching and support from there?
I think it's the fact of I need to help grow my business. I've had that experience in the AR firm, which was great, much needed to get my knowledge right, various systems, where you can source, where you can network. But it's a matter of taking that next step to think, right, if I'm going to take my business from just being a self-employed person under an AR to taking it to being an AR and everything's within my control, what processes, systems do I need to put in place to make sure I have that continued growth, not just for 12, 13 months, but have a long-term plan moving forward. So yeah, it's just a matter of growth. I wanted to become better. I wanted to provide better service. And I wanted a business whereby if I wasn't physically seeing customers and I wanted time away, I knew I'd still have an income then to live.
Yeah. And what was one of the first things you changed, and why was that the priority for you?
One of the first things that sort of became apparent, and once we started discussing options, I needed my own CRM system. Historically, I've used Excel, as I think most people would have started out at, and you've got your dates, your clients, and you've got various details, but it's very much manual based. So there's no automations at all in it. And hitting social media, I think that was a biggie. I'd done little bits here and there, but I wasn't really posting much, and I didn't really post much personally on Facebook, Insta, and the various platforms. I just haven't been a social media person. The confidence then of when speaking to yourself is, right, you've got to post. If people don't know you're doing the mortgages, if they don't know you're doing protection, if they don't know you're helping clients and how you're helping clients, how you're going to continue to build that business.
Yeah. It's always thinking about the future buyers and the ones that are going to potentially come back in 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 months. And the content is there to keep you in, consistent top of mind, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. So if you looking back on that, initial 6 months per se, what do you think had the biggest impact? Do you think it was the systems or the sort of audience and content side of things? In one's obviously saved you time and one's created new leads. What do you think was
I
more
think
impactful?
they go hand in hand, because
Yeah.
when I'm doing the social media, I'm noticing the impact and having some of the conversations with the potential clients. But rather than a pen and paper or an Excel spreadsheet keeping those client details, they're going into my CRM system. So when they're in there, I put a future date to contact them, but they'll also have various messages, happy birthday messages. I can automate some of the conversations I'm having with them. I'm not having to look at, what platform was it email? Was it WhatsApp? Was it Facebook? Was it Insta? I don't have to look in all the various different platforms. It's in one place because it's all integrated. So all of a sudden you just can see what conversations you're having with the client. Flows a lot better. And it's the amalgamation of the both. If I didn't have the CRM system, doing the social media to keep hold of those clients, you wouldn't have that, I suppose, seamless process.
Yeah. Do you think it's fair to say that putting better systems in place and getting rid of the Excel spreadsheets and the sort of the organized chaos that you had in your mind, that it created more time and capacity for you to put into the lead generation, the marketing, the social media, the content, etc.?
Yeah, definitely. Because with the CRM system, I can actually, I'll do a month's worth of posts.
Yeah.
So I've got my still images, I got them those sorted for the next 30 days. I don't have to worry about, I haven't posted something. I know I've always got something. And I've put my client reviews, testimonials. Those will go out once a week, every week. So I've got those up for the next 6-7 weeks. I don't have to worry about letting people know the service it provide. The talking headshots, in terms of when I'm just providing advice and giving a little bit of guidance to my clients, it's getting over the fear of that. And I think within the community that we've got, that's massively helped, because everybody's on the same sort of journey. And just do it. Don't care what people say, because you get more compliments than you will negativity when you start posting and being on social media speaking, which is one of the biggest fears. Because, like I say, I've never posted, and when you do it, it's great, because you do get the reward then in terms of clients reaching out and, oh, Dean, seen you on Facebook. And I've had a lot of people who I used to work with historically in the corporate world, seen your videos, brilliant. Can you help me? So it's just getting that reach out there to previous clients, previous work colleagues, and yeah, you definitely see the reward. But they go hand
have you ever had a mate of yours like message you and go, Dean, I didn't even realise you do mortgages?
in. I've had people say, oh, I didn't realise you've gone self-employed,
Okay.
which is nice. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people see your videos all the time. I've recommended so and so. So you get the people who know you referring their friends and family. Obviously, you do a little reward for them when you actually take the products out with yourself. But it's that recognition of being consistent. Because if you didn't do it for a couple of weeks, people go, oh, what's happened? You've gone a bit quiet. So it is about maintaining that stability, consistency of posting all the time. And more people that join the, I suppose, put it this way, if you were to get 50 people saying what viewing your videos, that's a lot of people. Some people going, oh, we've had several hundred views. Doesn't matter. But if you put 50 people in front of you, consistently seeing that, and those people refer and recommend you, it all adds up. So I'm not too bothered in terms of the number of views. It's the quality then of people understanding that I'm still visible, still doing mortgages, still helping people.
Love that. And for those people that are listening and watching that have never done video before, how did you get yourself over the fear of video?
Laugh about it. so
Laugh at yourself. That's always a good way to win.
I think if you take yourself too seriously, you just got on a no-win. So I just videoed, tried to use a little bit of a script, maybe a little bit of a teleprompter, but just get in front of the video, do a couple, show the missus and the boy, and have them dig me for you sound terrible, anything that might go wrong. But then also posting the bloopers, because it just shows that you're real. But yeah, it takes a little bit of fear to get over. Once you do it, it's fine. I don't care how it comes out. If I stutter, if I make a mistake, just carry on with the video. It just shows you're real. There's no AI. There's no Steven Spielberg effect. It's me speaking to a camera. If I stutter and forget my words, so be it. But it just shows the potential clients, friends, family that I'm real and I'm here to help, basically.
Yeah. And for, the ones that when you're producing those videos, Christ, I always remember I shared my first video that I ever did with my wife in WhatsApp. I've still got her reply as well. It's like, why did I do that? That's not going to give me any more confidence to keep doing video. But I know we've had conversations during one-to-ones and power calls and on Zooms and with Kiefer and stuff like that as well. You haven't been 100% consistent. How do you get yourself out of that and back into consistency? How have you identified, the effect that has of not being consistent, and what do you do now to overcome that? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's easy. It's like going to the gym. It's easy to fall out of the gym. It's hard to get back into the habit. And it's just trying to find a time. So when I know when I do the videos, they don't take me long. But it's just getting on that consistency doing it. So just started getting back in the groove of doing more videos.
Yeah.
And it's just utilising what you can, the conversations with your clients. So I'm making note of any questions they ask, use AI just for ideas. And they don't have to be long videos. They could be 10, 20-second videos. They could be 60 seconds. I haven't done any sort of long-form content because it's finding the time as well. But once you do it consistently, to edit the videos, just put the captions on and the little header. Doesn't take long at all. It's actually just filming it takes the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the adding the captions, and we're a big advocate, and you do this really well, of trying to just build it into something that you're already doing. You know, you do lots of walk and talk videos, don't you? And it's like, rather than it becoming a real kind of second job, and getting into any new habit takes a bit of time, but how can you just merge it in with what you're already doing during the course of the day is something you've really mastered in relation to that as well, right?
I don't want to with when I'm taking my boy to football, so I used to coach there a little bit, so I kind of relate to there when I'm taking him to rugby. So it's just right, I've got an idea, let's film it, let's do it, and then go back and edit it, which doesn't take long, but it's the consistency, but you see the reward.
Yeah.
When you do it, consistency, get the words out. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. So let's do kind of a bit of an update for people then. In you were at 2 to 5 in your first year up until March kind of 2024. March 2024, you were sort of bordering on the 5 to 10 point. I think you were around about the 5 to 6 at the point where you joined us kind of in the August. You know, you were an RI underneath someone else's business. So 12 months on, 13 months on, where is business now? Where's written? Where's banked? What's your situation? What's your team? Go through some just updates in relation to that.
Yeah. So I've got an office in the house at the moment where I see clients, which is great. So I'm still keeping that face-to-face contact, still doing the teams. I'm just about to take on my first employee. So I'm taking on a person who I used to work with. So we've got a good understanding of each other, the way we work. The experience that she's bringing to the team is actually, is amazing. She's got a wealth of knowledge within the financial services industry. In terms of where I was before we sort of started working together, it was okay. I'm making a living. Since we started working together, then I suppose the recognition with people and who I'm working with has gradually grown. So it's gone from writing that sort of, I suppose, 5 to 8 mark to consistently writing, I'd say, 15 plus. I say it's pretty consistent at the moment. And seeing the rewards then in terms of the income coming in then with a better fee structure in terms of the network I'm with, and not having to pay an AR for his slice. So it's around that 10 mark that we're starting to see that touching every week now, and hopefully then with Hannah, who will be taking on, that'll see me help build the business a bit more on the socials, more of the lead funnels, lead magnets, to hopefully then bring more clients in, which will obviously improve the service and allow me the capacity to grow continually. So there are targets over the next couple of years. There's targets for the next 12 months. And I know within some of our coaching meetings, we're going to see how we can implement that as well.
Yeah, I love that. So what's been your best month over the last 12 months, and what kind of caused it?
Yeah, so funnily enough, I had 2 really good months then, July and August.
Yeah.
So I'd been fairly consistent doing the socials before that. And coincidentally, July and August was the time that I've had the most time off out of work. So
you've had the best months, more time off, but you've been consistent with the socials, which is what's led to that.
Yeah.
Love
So
that.
the socials have slipped off a little bit because I've been so busy work-wise and time out of the business, but still working and having that sort of family time, which is great. But I'm hoping it's not going to be something that the missus thinks, you know what, you've had more time off. You really, I need more time off. So it's trying to strike that balance with the family and the business. But yeah, the last 2 months then, 17,000, 18,000 over the last 2 months. And yeah, it's just a matter of building our socials to see that consistency.
Yeah, love that. So we've gone from RI to AR, underneath TRM, better systems in place, more automations, consistent social media, from roughly 5 to 8 to now hitting 15 to 18k months over the last couple of months. And you've got your admin starting, thinking about an office, thinking about an advisor next, right?
Yeah, so I did have a little look at an office last week, but it wasn't to be.
Wasn't the one.
It's just looking to purchase the building, but the upstairs tenant and everything didn't quite work. So what I'll probably do now is just focus on Hannah coming into the business, and then
Yep.
hopefully look at then either a protection advisor or another mortgage advisor then within the next 6 to 9 months, just so we've got that growth, and then look at an office space where will cater for us all.
Love that. So if what is something that you've borrowed or adapted from someone else that has kind of really stuck into making this work over the last 12 months?
Borrowed or stack?
Yeah, borrowed or adapted from someone else. What's something you've picked up that you've implemented or you've changed and tweaked to suit yourself?
Yeah, I don't know if there's one thing, but
Yeah.
or there's a culmination of different things, because we within the community that we've got, and within with yourself, the Systemise and Scale, instead of just, as you mentioned, then yourself, Kiefer and Chris and Anna being sort of the guides in various specialties, you've then got 20, 30 different mortgage advisors who also wanting to grow. So all of a sudden, instead of the 4 coaches, mentors, there's 30 coaches and mentors that you can use to bounce ideas off. So during some of the meetings we've had, right, so somebody's doing using a particular app. Oh, brilliant! I'll use that. Health Hub, I suppose, is one. That's quite key.
Yeah.
Low price product, great return in terms of getting information off clients for protection.
Yeah.
Speaking about different processes. So I don't know if there's one particular one. I think it's just a culmination of things that's happened within the community over the last 12 months that we've been together that have helped me grow to the position I am at the moment and still see me grow.
Yeah. And keep growing as we move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. So what's one thing that you've put into practice that someone listening to this, watching this, can try in the next 7 days that you think would have a really good impact on their business?
If they haven't got a CRM system, get a CRM system that's not linked to the network. It's a bit of a game changer because you can personalize it. So the active CRM system that we're using with yourself can personalize it, automate it, use it how you want to within your business. So previously it'd be pen and paper or writing in a diary. Oh, I've got to send this email or something like that. But with the CRM system, I think is the game changer for myself. So automating my social, get my words out, automating my socials.
Yeah.
The key stages of keeping in contact with a client.
Yeah.
Getting the DIP accepted, application submitted, protection submitted, mortgage offer. Each of these stages, completion, you're sending out emails that are pre-templated, but you're personalising them. And all your communications in one place. So you're not hunting, oh, yeah, they reached out to me on Facebook, that initial contact, or they're asking for this request on WhatsApp, but they're sending me emails. Everything's in one place. So if somebody starting out hasn't got a CRM system, they need to get a CRM system. And if I was to recognise one, it's definitely Active CRM, because you can personalise it, tailor it to how you want it to work.
Yeah, it's one of the things that is hugely underestimated, and I've been repeating this quite a lot, but people ask me how I did 325,000 in starting from scratch again, January 2016, and then banking that by the April 2017 when I submitted my FCA Ramara Gabriel reporting. And it's two things: social media on Facebook, mostly doing video, and attracting those ideal clients. That all goes under number one and kind of that key thing. So content, video, attracting high value clients, because that's what I was talking about. And number two was from January, anyone who I spoke to that basically signaled an interest or I had a conversation with, I just put them in a reminder system, a rubbish CRM at that point. So by the time I got to like by the time I got to like August, September, October, I already had 5, 10, 15 people that I could ring saying, oh, we spoke back in February, your mortgage is coming up. So I was almost creating my own self-fulfilling pipeline that just meant that I was able to do their life insurance, do their mortgages, etc., so on and so forth. And the value of those, meant I was working smarter than harder. So I think, even if you're in that early phase, if you've got some form of consistency with your content, with your business at that kind of $5,000 level of point, and that's when you want to kind of start putting that into practice to really, really nail it for sure. So Dean, we have celebrated a lot over your last 12 months, and you've taken a hell of a lot of action. You've leveraged the community, you've asked me and my team a lot of questions, but you've done the work and massively implemented. And obviously in celebrating that, it's been what, ballpark, let's call it 8k to 18k, 10 grand a month that it's been worth to your business, over the last year. Would you say it's worth 100 grand a year to you?
Yeah. I mean, it's just catapulted from where I was to where I am now, and potentially where I'm going. And without that experience and knowledge from the team with SAS and the community that we're in, I wouldn't have seen that growth. And it's nice being a lot among like-minded people who want you to succeed. So they're not in competition against you; they're actually in competition with themselves, but having the community to help you build that business, that future.
Love that. So what are we celebrating 12 months from now then?
12 months from now, a lot more holidays, a lot more time with the family. And potentially another two members of staff. That'd be the sort of goal. Possibly another mortgage advisor and a protection specialist, because I think within this business, you need somebody who can solely focus within protection.
Yeah, it's one of the things that a lot of our clients do, isn't it? It's what we all do. I've got my own protection only advisor, Tom, Rachel, Antonio, Carl and Alex, and it does pay huge dividends, right? Because whether that's you and you say to me, Gary, actually, I love doing the protection, I'm going to get another mortgage advisor and I'm going to focus on the protection side. It doesn't matter. But you think that having a mortgage advisor, having a protection advisor, office, admin, plus Dean, that's going to be a good year for you over the next 12 months?
I think so. Yeah. It's that I know I've got to hand over tasks. So it's just being myself. I know what tasks I've got to do, and I believe I do them well. But it's just thinking, right, that person can do it just as well, and relinquishing some of the jobs that I don't need to do, and having the knowledge that they can do it. And it's taking that sort of low value tasks and allowing me more time then to build a business.
Love it, buddy. I've absolutely loved working with you. The energy you bring to your events and obviously being part of the community. Can't wait to see where you're going to be in 12 months.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Cheers, bud.
It's been great. Catch up.